Hey there, and welcome to this screencast about Microsoft's OneNote Class Notebook application that works really well with Teams, and it's a feature you may be wondering about how to use. This particular screencast is going to cover how to access the Class Notebook, how to set it up, the different areas within the notebook, and how to open the Class Notebook in Teams, but also in the OneNote application that is downloaded onto your computer. So before I get into how to do this, what I do want to do is just kind of talk about what OneNote Class Notebook is. Because it can be a little confusing, but when I think about it like this, to me it makes total sense. So all OneNote is, all Class Notebook is kind of think of it as like a subject notebook. This 5-star subject notebook that has 5 different sections in it with pages in it. It's very, very similar to OneNote. This is like the physical version of it. And really, OneNote has a bunch of sections, unlimited amount, so it's not limited to the amount that's in the notebook. And you can put as much as you want within each section. This is all OneNote is. So if you're having trouble thinking about what it is, just keep in mind this image of a section notebook, and you've got it. And with that, let's jump into this special team here that I've made called OneNote Team. I created it because I wanted to start from scratch with this process, and I did put some students in here so that you could see what it looks like from the teacher end and how you could put stuff into it, and we'll worry about that later on. So if I want to access Class Notebook, whether I've set it up already and I'm using it, or whether I'm using it for the first time, I'm going to click this Class Notebook tab. And until you set up the notebook, you're going to have this right here. Kids can't do anything if they're on this tab. It'll just kind of be there. If I want to set it up, I very easily click Set up a OneNote Class Notebook. And it's giving me 2 options here. I can create a blank notebook, or I can go existing from one that I've done prior. So if I've done this in another class and I want to pretty much replicate that, I could do this. If I, have something on my computer from a previous year, I could do that. But we're going to start fresh, so I'm going to click blank notebook. This right here is telling me what will be inside of my OneNote notebook, basically different areas of it. I will go into that when we actually set it up so you can kind of easily see it. But there are 3 sections to it. And I'm going to click next. Now, this is what is going to be inside of the student's notebook in their sections. So OneNote by default gives you these 3 things as like the default sections. You can always change this. You can always change. So if I want to change quizzes and I want to make it assessments and I want to get rid of handouts, I absolutely can. And if I want to add it back in, handouts, I absolutely can. And I could always, go in here and change these things. Now, once I have this done, I am going to click Create. And OneNote is going to get it ready. I'm actually going to pause OneNote right here, pause this tutorial and come back to it because I don't want to waste your time in getting this set up because it does take a little bit of time. But I am going to pause it. Okay, I'm back, and that took really not a lot of time at all. I didn't even really need to pause it, because as soon as I did and came back, it kind of already started up. So I think that happened because there's only 4 students in this team. With a larger team, it may take a little bit longer. So right off the bat, this is what comes up. It's going to tell you, welcome to Class Notebook. This is what it is. This is the different areas, but I'm going to go into this for you. Now, in Teams, this kind of looks a little bit like crowded here. You're only seeing a little bit of space. So what I always like to do is hit this button, and it kind of opens it up a lot nicer for me. And I'm going to navigate through my Class Notebook right here. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to show me the different areas. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 students in here. This is the teacher end. So I have a collaboration space, I have a content library, and I have access to all of the student notebooks. So if I want to, really let me go into these 2 things. So the collaboration space is a place where I can upload pages that into here where all kids can collaborate in here. When I've used this in classes, I've never used the collaboration space because I don't see, a ton of value in it. I haven't really had any experience with that. But if you wanted everyone in one place at one time in their notebooks, this is where it would be. You can actually turn this off, and in another video, I'll show you how to do that so you don't have to have the collaboration space at all. The content library is where you are where you're uploading, let's say it's documents, PDFs, putting things into here. There's this section right here, getting started with the content library. I can add pages in here. Let's say I took notes in class, and I'm going to say class notes for 3/ what is today? 24/ oh wait, it's 25 / 2020. And I could type in here, hello. I could add things in here. I can insert documents, but I'll go into that in subsequent videos. The content library is restricted to just you. So kids can go in here, they can see stuff, they can even copy things from it into their notebook, but they can't change anything you put in here. Then you also have the access to go into each kid's notebook. And when I hit the triangles here and I expand on it, you can actually go and see like what is inside of their notebook. So you can monitor them, what they're doing. You could see the different things that they have in here. And you can even put stuff individually into their notebook. And again, in later videos, we'll go into that. This is just for this sake, what it looks like. In the kid's notebook, they will see welcome, collaboration space, content library, their name and their sections. They will not see the other sections in there. Only you see that on the teacher end side. Now, this is what it looks like. These are the 3 areas, and you always have more areas than the students do because every section for the kids will come up as their name. Now, the last thing I want to show you here is how to open this in the desktop application, because this is fine, and if you like this is all good, and you can use it within Teams like this. But since Teams and Office 365 and everything can live in the browser, it can live in the desktop apps, I find it better to use OneNote within the desktop app. So I can open this in browser, I can open it in the OneNote application, and you'll see it's opening up right here. And it's doing this like open link. It's connecting to my OneNote because I had, if you saw that picture of the moon phases, a different notebook open. And right now it is loading the appropriate notebook so that I can use it. This takes a little bit of time the first time you do it, but the more you use the OneNote desktop app, it remembers and it opens everything up a lot faster. You won't have to kind of sit through this opening link right here. And as you can see in the background, things are happening. I am going to, I was going to pause it for you, but here we are right in here. So let's see. Right now I'm going to show navigation. And you could see right here, the name of it is OneNote. Like this is here. It's showing me, I could see Ava, I could see Evan, I could see all these things. These things right here are all the same as my teams right here. So I could resume here. This stuff right here is exactly the same as this stuff right here. I like to do it in this. If you like to do it within Teams, that's totally fine. You absolutely can. There's no reason to open up the desktop app if you don't want to. But I just find it a lot easier to do it in here because it makes me focus a lot easier. But just to know that you could see all of these things in here and you could put stuff into. So let's say I wanted to put a homework page in here. Evan's homework, and let's say I wanted to, just insert a quick table. There we go. This shows up automatically in Evan's notebook, and when he goes into his section, he will be able to see this, and he can type in this in real time with me as well. And then if I go back to, let me just go back here, just to show you that everything syncs. It might take some time. Let's see, Evan's homework. You can see Evan's homework right there, what I did in the app, just to show you that this stuff all syncs up within the cloud. So this is Class Notebook. This is how you set it up. These are the different areas of it. And this is how you would open up in the desktop and in the browser, or the desktop or within Teams. If you need any help with this or you need any more insight into what I explained in this video, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next OneNote tutorial. Take care.